What is up, Miami Dolphin fans? Welcome to the Dolphins Deep Dive live here on the Straight Talk Society. I am your host, Mr. Straight Talk. Even though you see the name down at the bottom saying Cult of Personality, that's just one of my many monikers. And we are here to talk about the 45-15 win for your good guys, the Miami Dolphins, over the Washington, don't call me Redskin Commanders. Oh, man. Listen, before we do get into the game, I do have three things I want to get into. I want to get into the Dolphin game. We are going to go over the Hard Knocks show. I am going to review. Shout out to MD in the building. I am going to, let me drop the link, MD, if you want to come up, because I just finished watching the end of your game. Boy, y'all held on against the lowly Jets. Man, there's been some terrible football going on this past couple of weeks. But I do want to get into something real quick. And it's funny because with MD being in the chat, maybe he wants to touch in on this. I was sent a message earlier this morning, and it just said RIP FSU. So I didn't realize that the selection show had already taken place. And I went online and I was shocked to see this. Not necessarily shocked, but it is very interesting. So they did do the college football selection. As you know, as we figure, Michigan number 1, Washington number 2, both 13-0 teams I have no problem with. Texas at 12-1, number 3. Then where it gets dicey, you got Alabama at 12-1 at number 4. Notably, left off of that list is the 13-0 Florida State Seminoles, ACC champions, and the 12-1 Georgia Bulldogs that they have at number 6. Now, I get it. Georgia lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game, but I thought that Georgia would still make the playoff. What I am highly pissed off about is because I'm a Florida State fan, and I get it. I heard Boo, his explanation, and he basically said if this was a Jordan Travis Seminoles, they would have been in, no problem. But they have to basically the college playoff has to have good football, which if Florida State win it at number 4, that means they'd be playing Michigan. Michigan, to me, isn't that great of a team. They struggled against Iowa. I don't care what the score was. They didn't look good at all. And I think that Florida State defense, which, I mean, they say the offense wins games, but defense wins championships. With as horrible as Florida State's offensive output was last night with that quarterback, Brock Glenn, I don't know where the hell he came from, but to have 55 yards passing and for that defense to be almost Baltimore Ravens-like, I still think they could have went in there and put up a fight against Michigan. And it sets a terrible precedence. I know this is the last year of this 4-team format, but it sets a terrible precedence that you have a 13-0 conference champion not in the playoff, and then you can't use the fact that it just looks better because if that's the case, Alabama shouldn't be in because Texas beat Alabama earlier in the year. But you guys are putting Alabama in because they beat Georgia. Let's just call it what it is. It's because they beat Georgia. So I do have a Georgia fan on the panel though. What's up, MD? What you think about this, man?
Yeah, what's going on, Trevor, man? Yeah, it's a travesty, bro. It's a travesty. Again, the game came down to one play that set a standard for how the officiating went in the game. It was a 4th down play, end of the first half. That was not a catch. Everybody has seen the steal shots by now. It was clearly not a catch. That was a 4th down play. We had got them off the field, and we was going to get the ball back, potentially score some more points before the half, and get the ball back at the half. That one play ruined us. because they scored off of that catch to Julian Bond. And not on top of the bad PI call, the horse collar call that wasn't a horse collar. Everybody done seen that too. Like, we got screwed. Let's just keep it real. It was an agenda to be put out. They played into, oh, we haven't lost in 2 years and blah blah blah, this and that. And here come the legacy of the SEC, the Crimson Tide. It's BS. Now, the way they explained it was they were just going off of who beat who, because Texas beat Alabama and then Alabama turned around and beat Georgia. That somehow justifies Texas being at 3, which they shouldn't be, because the Big 12 is garbage. Like a nonsensical conference. You know what I mean? It's garbage. Let's just keep it real. That's why they go into the SEC next year. So it's a bad look by the NCAA playoff committee. It's bad, man. It's bad. I can't explain it. Now with the Florida State, I gotta agree with you. How can I sit here and say the conference champions of the ACC with an undefeated record is not in the playoff? I don't see how you can do that. Despite who's playing, that's not what we're supposed to go off of.
And look at it this way. Look at it this way. The ACC has a winning record this year over the SEC in head-to-head competition. Florida State beat LSU in the beginning of the year. So they are literally punishing Florida State. And I see what Jackie McCall says. I think they got the playoffs right. Florida State looks like garbage. Florida State's defense didn't look like garbage. That was championship level defense that could literally go beat anybody. That defense got nothing but NFL starters on it.
But I mean, who cares if it looked like garbage or not? Yeah, they won their conference and they undefeated.
They did what you asked them to do. You asked them to go out, win your conference, and then they get nothing. It's like, man, bro.
Now, if you want to take in consideration who you think the 4 best teams is, then that's when you got to put Georgia back into the play.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean. If we're talking about 4 best teams,
and I think that's what they were looking at. Well, that's what the guy said. I forget his name because I was looking at it before I came in here. That they said that they were going by the 4 best teams. I'm like, okay, well, you got to have Michigan, Texas, and Georgia, and I guess you got to put Washington in there. Washington, you know, they're a good team. I'm not going to crap on them. It is literally set up for Nick Saban to win another championship.
I disagree, man. I think Washington going all the way. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That offense is electric. Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. is the truth. I'm picking Washington.
Let me look at this bracket again. So you got Michigan against Alabama. Alabama winning that, and I think okay. Let's say Washington beats Texas. I give you that. Washington isn't beating Alabama. They're not beating Alabama. They literally set this thing up for Alabama to get back in there. I mean,
we'll see. Me personally, I don't think Alabama is a good team. Milroe is exciting to look at, but as far as being a complete package as far as quarterback, he showed you he wasn't on Saturday. He showed you that. Milroe didn't do anything impactful in that game. For all intents and purposes, like I said, Georgia should have won. You take 7 points off the board if they make the right decision in that no catch, that they made a catch. So I'm looking at it that way.
So Jackie is saying Florida State didn't. I guess he's saying they didn't score 34 points against Louisville. So he's saying if they would have put up 34, Jackie, they were down to a quarterback who looked like he didn't even play in high school. That guy was missing. I mean, the wide open. They didn't start scoring until they started running Wildcat. That guy was a non-factor, but that defense was so awesome. That defense was the Ravens. That was the Ravens defense of what was that, 2000, 2001. That literally was the Ravens defense. It was crazy, but I think, so now you know what they're going to do. They're going to have Florida State and Georgia play.
In the bowl?
Yeah, that's what this is shaping up
That's gonna be a slaughter then.
Yeah, but yeah, if we don't, I mean, because I wasn't riding. See, I'm consistent. I wasn't riding with Tate Rodemaker either, but at least he give us a better chance than this guy. And I mean, so Georgia's defense and Florida State's defense going to beat the hell out of each other, and then Georgia would just overpower them with offense. I mean, that's exactly how that goes, and that's what the committee was thinking in the playoff. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I win all my games and my conference, which is a Power 5 conference, then that should be it. I do what I do to get in. That's it.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
See,
but go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was gonna say. See, I was under the impression that because Alabama was a one-loss team, and because effectively we were one loss from the championship game, that somehow I was thinking that we was gonna be the number 4 seed. I was thinking that we was gonna be the number 4 seed. Alabama was gonna be 3. I wasn't even looking at Texas based on their strength of schedule. Except for the Alabama game, in terms of strength of schedule, like the Big 12 is bad. It's real bad.
That was Alabama in the beginning of the season too.
Exactly.
They couldn't beat them now.
Yeah, so I didn't look at the Alabama Texas game as really playing any role in a deciding factor, so to speak, because it was so early in the season. Plus, Texas hasn't played pretty much anybody else since that game. That's any good. I mean, you could say Oklahoma State, but I mean, Oklahoma State is Oklahoma State. I'm not taking them serious either, even though they ranked. So I was thinking it was going to be Georgia 4, Alabama. I didn't see him going up at no more than 3. Then Michigan and Washington.
Yeah.
So that was my impression. That's what I thought. Clearly, I was wrong. I think Texas is just they're gonna be a deer in the headlights come playoff time. I don't think any 3 of those other teams would destroy Texas. So I mean, that's what I'm looking at. I'm shocked.
That Washington offense is I mean, getting into the NFL, that Washington offense is almost Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. a beast, man. He a beast.
I mean,
I ain't gonna front.
I'm watching that because they were losing to Oregon. Wait a minute, yeah, they were down.
They were down. They were down two scores to Oregon.
And then all of a sudden, it just turned into a track meet. I'm like, my goodness.
I mean, Bo Nix. I mean, the Oregon offense and the Washington offense is similar. The only difference is Michael Penix Jr. he got wheels. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Bo Nix, he had kind of a traditional quarterback. But in terms of their offense, they similar. You know what I mean?
And I wasn't I was at the fair last night, so I wasn't even watching the Alabama Georgia game. And I'm just like, man, Georgia gonna steamroll them. That's all I was thinking. And then when I looked at the score, I was like, wait a minute, this can't be right. And so then I went online and found a stream and I was watching it. I was like, oh man, I cannot believe what's getting ready to happen here. They're about to turn the college world upside down. But so this is the Dolphins deep dive, and we are going over week 13 in the NFL season. I mean, Miami Dolphins, it was just a matter of what was the final score going to be. The Dolphins 45-15 winners over the Washington Commanders, and they did pull the dogs off in the fourth quarter and pulled out all the starters, which I'm glad. So let's just go over these stats real quick, and then we'll move on because MD is on it. I need him to explain this Atlanta game to me. So the got to be the front runner in the MVP race. Touchdown Tua is at it again. One of his most efficient games of the year. 18 for 24, 280 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And guess what? Tua didn't do what he does every week, give you that one stupid pass. Tua, because they told me that my quarterback couldn't throw the ball down the field. Tua with a 78-yard bomb to Tyreek and a 60-yard bomb to Tyreek in the same game. Unbelievable. After he threw the same pass to Jalen Waddle and Jalen Waddle dropped it, he comes back and does the exact same thing to Tyreek. Touchdown. I think at one point he was 6 for 6 on third down conversions. I mean, y'all put some respect on this guy's name. I don't want to hear it no more. Anybody talking crap about him. Devon Achane coming back, having a man's game, 17 carries, 73 yards, 4.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert, who I'm going to give Raheem Mostert some credit. He is the unsung hero of the Miami Dolphins. He had a quiet game today, 11 carries, 43 yards, 3.9 a carry and a touchdown. He is leading the NFL in touchdowns with, I want to say, 15 right now, rushing touchdowns. Him or McCaffrey? Yeah, he's leading in touchdowns. McCaffrey's leading in yards, but he is the second leading rusher in the NFL. Tyreek Hill, monster game, 5 receptions. Listen to this: 5 receptions, 157 yards, 31.4 yard average per catch. Insane. He's got to have at least 1,500 receiving yards now with 5 games left. If he even averages 90 yards a game, he'll break the all-time record. And if I'm saying this now, as much as I want Tua to be the MVP, if Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 receiving yards, he should be the MVP of the NFL because he's going to do something that is unheard of. The Dolphins defense again showed up and showed out. I don't care. I don't listen. You guys keep telling me, oh, who are they playing? Who are they playing? You know who they're playing? They're playing a team that beat some teams earlier in the year. They're playing a team that gets paid just like they do to go out there and play and to show some respect to the game of football. Everybody puts their shoes on 1 foot at a time, and they got to go out there and play. Miami just looks like a well-oiled machine. I don't have much complaints this game, with the exception of Mike McDaniel, clock management at the end of the first half. I get it. He was trying to run it down to nothing, and that was just him saying, I know we're going to score, so whether I got a minute or whether I got 10 seconds on the board, we are going to score no matter what, and that's exactly what they did. So, hell, what do I know? They shut me up again. I mean, at this point, Jerome Baker goes out, friendly fire. He gets clipped by his own teammate coming across the middle. Duke Riley comes in and just says, all right, let me show y'all. I'm a special teamers. Let me show y'all what it's like, and has a monster game. Andrew Van Ginkel, sack, interception, pick 6. I mean, Van Ginkel, you know, we talk about the Jalen Phillips, we talk about the Chubbs, we talk about the Christian Wilkins, but Van Ginkel is silently having the year of his life. And the Dolphins defense after this week has to be top 5. And I apologize right now to Vic Fangio because I criticized you at the beginning when we didn't have Jalen Ramsey, but I see what having Jalen Ramsey does to this defense, because you can't throw the ball on them. So it gives, the quarterback has to hold the ball for ridiculous amounts of time, and you create all type of pressure up front. I apologize. I was wrong, but we got to get into this game since I got him up here that I just watched. I told you I wasn't picking Atlanta anymore in my pool, but I saw that Atlanta was playing the Jets, and I was like, the last team I'm going to pick is the Jets. And I watched Atlanta played one of the ugliest football. I mean, my goodness, that's an ugly game, MD.
It was. Hey, a win is a win. We go up 500, 6-6. You know what I mean? Division leader, game and a half ahead of the Saints. I'm happy at the end of the day. So yeah, man. Yeah, it was an ugly game. Arthur Smith, man, he confused me week after week after week with his game plan. I don't know what he do sometimes. This week, he tried to go tight end heavy, was trying to implement Pitts more in the offense, which he did. I think Pitts had close to 100 yards today, which is fine. But when you only targeting your best receiver on the field like 3 times, I think he had 2 catches. Like, what are we doing with Drake London? You know what I mean? Now, you would say, okay, he's up on Sauce Gardner, so we don't want to, like, expose. So what does that say about your trust in your quarterback? This is what I mean when I say I would rather have Heineke in with Desmond Ritter, and people hate on me because of that. Ritter does. It's clear. Like if you don't see it, I don't know what you're watching. It's clear. Arthur Smith, our coach, does not trust Desmond Ritter to make certain throws. He just don't. So he minimizes the offense to the point where we got all these weapons on the field: Kyle Pitts, Drake London, now Van Jefferson, Bijan Robinson, Michael Pro. We got all these weapons on the field, and we can't score number 13 point. I don't care who we playing. That should not be possible. Not for the skill set that we have. Cordell Patterson. Like your offense is crazy, man. And we won, but it was a lot of instances in that game where we could have lost easily.
Kyle Pitts
You
is
know what I
gone
mean?
after Kyle Pitts is gone after this season. Right?
I hate not after this season because I think they got him on 4 years, then he got the 5th-year option. So it may be
Okay.
next year.
Okay.
Next year he might be gone.
Because he came in the year with Tua, right?
I believe so. So yeah, his last year, his rookie contract will be next year.
I'm gonna tell you,
But again, they got the 5th-year option on them, so they may, but it's no point if you ain't gonna use them, right?
yeah, because they exercise Tua's 5th-year option, and Miami's gonna be in a conundrum next year because they got to pay Tua, they got to pay Tua, they got to play Wilkins, Waddle is coming up, Javon Holland is coming up. Boy, they gonna have to spend some money, but you know what I always say, it ain't my money, so I don't give a damn what he pays.
I think they'll extend. I think they'll extend Tua this offseason. That's my opinion.
They have to.
Yeah.
This is his first time in the NFL playing 12 games. So let's look at that. He is right now he's at 24 or 25 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. So I think he's back in the leaderboard of the quarterbacks. As far as yards, he may be 1 or 2. Passer rating, he had damn near perfect passer rating today at 141. I mean, I'm tired. Everybody loves talking crap about him. They say he can't throw the ball in cold weather. He just played 2 cold weather games, threw the ball fine. At this point, I'm just like, hey, whatever. You do what you do. I'm gonna worry about my team, and we're trying to make it till February. Shout out to Mango Mike in the building and Bones Hendricks. Just join us. I did want to see Jackie McCall did say, guess the referees missed the call. That receiver never caught the ball in that game last night. Yeah, that's what MD was saying. And Jackie, I agree with you. Florida State would not beat Georgia, not that team, just because Georgia got a good defense too. So the defenses are going to cancel themselves out, and then it's up to offense who could actually move the ball. You can't move that if that quarterback. If I heard Rodemaker is going to play in the bowl game, but he ain't that much better. But he's better than that dude from last night. That's all I'm saying. So I get what the committee did. I get it. Because the worst thing you want to do is see a playoff game where it's 62-0 or just some ridiculous thing like that. So I get that. Bones is Mike is saying they better pay Tua before Dak gets paid. Get a little get a little discount. Yeah, because they're gonna try to whatever quarterback is next up is what they're going to try to bank that off of. Yeah, I would extend them. Yeah, I'd extend them now. So I do want to go to the scores around the league before we get in the hard knocks, and we'll be done. Tell you this show don't go on long here. Let me get into the scores around the league. Week 13. So you did have the Thursday night game. The Cowboys in a thriller, 41-35. Over the Seahawks, the Colts over the Titans today. Okay, I won that game. Good. 31-28 in overtime. The Falcons 13-8 winners over the Jets. The Lions in a thriller against the Saints. Derek Carr just can't stay healthy. 33-28. The Texans over the Broncos. Hey, the Broncos were on a roll there, but the Texans came in with the rookie of the year. And hell, we got to start talking about him in the MVP running. CJ Stroud has completely turned that team around. And I guess in Texas right now, they're saying Deshaun who. That's exactly what they're saying. Listen, The Pittsburgh Steelers and Cardinal game got postponed, and I saw the score of this game, and I thought that there was a weather delay. The Chargers 6-0 winners over the Patriots. What the hell happened to the Chargers? Why are they so bad?
Yeah.
And will that coach make it out of this year before he gets fired?
Yeah. That's weird to me because I think Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. I don't know what's going on. I just think he's in a bad offense. And
Bad offense when he got all those weapons.
again, I just got finished talking about the Falcons.
Yeah, well, yeah.
When your scheme don't match your skill set, it don't matter how many skill players you got. If it ain't working, it ain't working. You know what I mean? I think Justin Herbert, again, he's a guy that's gonna leave after his rookie contract, which I believe is
That's what I was about to ask you. He's with Tua. He's with Tua on the. They came in together.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in a black and red jersey.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you see Herbert moving, or do you think they?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think they're going to give him a contract that's just he can't deny? He can't walk away from it.
Yeah, I don't think he fit the scheme. That's just my opinion. I don't think he fit the scheme. Justin Herbert is a traditional quarterback. He can move, but Justin Herbert I remember his rookie year. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And again, they went more toward Eckler. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get people around him, and that's the type of offense they is. Like Justin Herbert just don't fit. That's just my opinion.
Mike is saying Herbert is not great. He's okay. I do want to get back in the Herbert conversation. So hold on. So where do we? So the Cardinals. The Cardinals are up 17-3 over the Steelers. Man, the Steelers are such a. I know Zay probably pulling his dreads out right now, or else he'd be on here going off because man, Zay was giving us so much goal in the group, just complaining about this Steelers game. Looks like Kenny Pickett got hurt again. That's another bum. The Bucks are up 7-3 over the Panthers. That's another quarterback I want to touch on, Bryce Young. The Eagles are up 6-0 over the 49ers. That's going on right now. The Rams are up 10-0 against the Browns. And tonight you got Chiefs Packers, and tomorrow you got Bengals Jags. So Justin Herbert, everybody said that Justin Herbert, the Dolphins should have took Herbert. They should have took Herbert. Now, but what nobody remembers is coming out of college, Tua was the consensus number one before he got hurt. And before Burrow got hot, nobody was even talking about Justin Herbert. Then Herbert came in, had that first year, and he went on fire. And everybody's, Tua's a bum, because he had, to your point, he had a bad coach. Brian Flores is a defensive coordinator. Brian Flores is not a head coach. Brian Flores is tried to do to Tua what Bill Belichick is doing to Mac Jones right now, literally just killing his career. And Mike McDaniel, when he came in, I still got the phone call. I'm gonna play it when we win the Super Bowl. I mean, it is what it is. Where Mike McDaniel came in and he was on the airplane and he said, "Hey, you're gonna remember this day for the rest of your life. I am the one that's gonna save your career." And that's literally what he's doing. So do you think, because Staley's getting fired, they're not, if it comes with Herbert or Staley, they getting rid of Staley every day of the week. Do you think they could bring in a coach, a offensive minded coach, somebody maybe off of Shanahan's tree? Because it looks like, so as great as everybody tells me Bill Belichick is, which I keep telling you, Mike Tomlin is a better coach than Bill Belichick. But for everybody who tells me how great Bill Belichick is, Kyle Shanahan's tree shows you his guys are good. Do you think maybe one of his coordinators will take that job, an offensive-minded guy, and kind of get Herbert back on the right track? Because they're wasting. That's a generational talent that they're wasting right now.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see somebody from the Shanahan tree coming in. I think most importantly, when we talk again, and we had this conversation before, when it comes to Bill Belichick, people have to understand he wasn't the architect of that offense. That was Josh McDaniel and people like that. Like that ain't got nothing to do with Belichick. So of course he's gonna take the credit because he's the head coach. But yeah, I can see somebody from that Shanahan family coming in again. In my opinion, Justin Herbert needs a scheme where it's kind of sort of in the Josh McDaniel way, where he's quick hits, West Coast style offense, where he shines. You know what I'm saying? And he can throw deep. You can't be run heavy and then rely on him as a play action quarterback and expect him to be in a rhythm. He ain't that type of quarterback. He gets in a rhythm by completions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see that.
So Mike is saying Mike Tomlin is a better coach now. Like I didn't had this argument 100 ways to Sunday. Mike Tomlin has won with the crappiest of the crap. I mean, and Belichick has not done jack without Brady. I mean, so it is what it is, and he's had multiple seasons now to prove how great he is, and all he's doing is literally killing a quarterback's confidence. As I'm up there, I want to look at the stats. I want to look at the stats of this Chargers game because I'm very curious. So, oh man, so Justin Herbert was 22 of 37, so he threw the ball a lot. 212 yards. Austin Eckler, wow, 14 carries, 18 yards. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. What in the hell?
And you know what I was saying? And you know he got the contract this year. I was saying Austin Eckler, he's good, but I'm not revolving my offense around a person like Austin Eckler. That's just me personally. I'm not doing it. They chose to do that and put Herbert on the back burner. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing the offense deplete the way it is. Austin Eckler is not a workhorse running back. He's just not. He ain't big enough. Austin Eckler is a utility style. You can get him out the backfield on check down, stuff like that. They broke the bank with Austin Eckler pretty much.
He's a Darren Sproles type. I'm not. I'm not breaking and a Reggie Bush type. I'm not breaking the bank on no running back. And speaking of, just to show you why. So looking at the Patriots, Billy Zappi started 13 to 25, 141 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Ezekiel Elliott was their leading rusher. Remember Ezekiel Elliott, the star at Dallas, 17 carries, 52 yards. Like these guys are disappearing. Like they're nothing, man. And that final score was 6-0. Like how 6-0 for the Chargers. Like I mean, the Patriots stink. The Patriots are trying to get Caleb Williams. You can't tell me no different. So maybe Bill Belichick will in the end be the best of them all. He may be like, look, I had one trick up my sleeve and may get the number 1 overall pick. I mean, because I don't see them winning another game this year. They are terrible, man. So Mike is saying he thought Eckler was McCaffrey. No, McCaffrey is that dude, man. He is. I don't know how, but McCaffrey.
I mean, they got similar skill set, but he ain't McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? They got similar skill set. McCaffrey on another level.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna just say the white boy, man. He is that boy is bad.
He do it all, man. Yeah. You could put McCaffrey in the slot. You like he catching out the backfield on swing passes and in the flat. He do it all, literally. That's another person that's gonna have well over 2,000 all-purpose yards.
All purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he let me see where Tyreek Hill is right now. Because this is insane. Yeah, let me see where Tyreek Hill is. I want to go give my quick thoughts on this episode of Hard Knocks, and then we'll
Hey, quick question, Trevor. How do you not play a safety up top against Tyreek Hill? How do you do that?
because they don't respect him yet, man. For some reason, they
How do you
still
not
not
respect
respecting
somebody
him.
with 1,500 yards?
They not. Oh, so these yards haven't been updated yet. Okay, yeah, he's over 1,500. He's got to be over 1,500. They're still showing 1,300, so it hasn't been updated yet. But
If I was a coach playing the Dolphins, I would essentially be playing. I'll be playing 11 on 10 ball because I will have a single high safety on every single play. Every
yeah,
single play.
I be playing. Yeah, I have yeah, I had a be playing prevent defense all the time, pretty much. And they did it twice though, MD. They did it
Yeah,
twice.
I saw the game break, and I was like, well, I was like, how was a safety trailing Tyree Hill? Why is he not already up there?
Bro, the first one he had him beat so bad. The second one he had to slow down for the ball. But the first one, man, he had him. I'm like, God, I said you can't have him that wide open. Like it's just and Washington has a pretty good safe defense, but I mean they threw the towel in when they traded their two edge rushers, which I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
Ron
yeah,
Rivera.
they in a reset. They in a reset.
Yeah, but
They
Ron
traded
Rivera.
they traded Chase and all. Yeah, they in a reset.
And
I don't know what's going on.
it was another guy, I forget his name, but Ron Rivera just fired Jack Del Rio, and then he gets 45 points put up on him. And you know what was so demoralizing? That last drive. Miami literally handed the ball off every single down and tried because it was like fourth down. I'm like, why are they not going for a field goal here? Why did they just keep going for it? And it literally was just they coming out, hand the ball off. A-Chain, 5 yards. A-Chain, 6 yards. Craycraft got.
Oh, yeah, it was Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat. They got rid of him too.
I'm like, my goodness, man. Why? Like the disrespect to this defense right now is crazy. Like that. I don't know, man. Hey, a good run game and a good defense, man. And then you had that efficient play from your quarterback. It's gonna get you every time. So, good that you on this call too. Do you watch Hard Knocks?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Nah.
All right, so I'm gonna go over Hard Knocks and then we done. Hey, this show, like I say, 45 minutes, less than an hour. We out of here. So, all right, so this episode of Hard Knocks is the week before, not the week before, the week of the Black Friday game against the Jets. So you have and it sucks because it's like when you watching something and something bad is gonna happen. It's one thing to watch it in real time and then you're like, oh crap, it happened. But you're watching something and you watching the lead up to something terrible getting ready to happen. And I noticed in this episode they kept doing a lot of heavy camera work on Jalen Phillips. They went so far as to let us know, they were showing his cat and his parents and just talking about how great of a season he was having and the impact that he was making. And I mean, it was all setting up just to punch a square in the stomach. And then they got the play on the field. He gets a sack. Then he goes back out there and he's like, I'm gonna get him again. And Mike McDaniel, I forget what Mike McDaniel said to him, but he was on the sideline. They were giving dap and everything. No, Mike McDaniel told him, he said, this season you're playing out of your mind. Like he's like, you're playing on a level that's just insane this year. Everybody's giving him dap and everything. Then next thing you know, boom, he goes down to that terrible turf monster that MD is going to tell me doesn't mean nothing. It don't have a ounce of inkling on anybody getting hurt. Nothing. He goes down. This man has been playing all over the field all game, lights out, getting sacks. He didn't get an interception in this game, but batting down balls, making tackles for loss, and then getting out of his stance. He goes down. And when he went down, everybody goes over there and they're huddling around him. And then just like the most heartbreaking moment ever, he was like, man, I heard it pop. He was like, it just popped. It just popped.
Yeah, that was the Achilles, right?
Yeah, his Achilles.
Yeah, I seen that video, and you can see the pop.
Yeah, he was like it. He said it. You saw the ripple.
Yeah, I saw. I saw. Yeah, his calf muscle, like, yeah, you can see it snap.
Rippled. Yeah, he was like, he said it just popped. It just popped, and everybody's coming over there trying to tell him, "No, man, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good." He's like, "No, it just popped. It just popped. I know it just popped." And the adrenaline rushing in him now because he's getting frustrated It's like when you telling people something, they're like, oh man, nah. But you telling them, man, look, man, I know what it is. And man, when he went to crying, bro, he just broke down crying on the field. And he was just like, man, he was just dropping F-bombs left and right. He was like, man, everybody tell him it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right. And he like, man, why, bro? That took everything out of me, man. I had to pause it then because I'm like, bro, this man was on another level this year, and to just see it go down like this, and it was an injury where he wasn't even touched. That's the part that gets me.
That's why
touched.
That's why I need to ask you the question, Trevor. So the injury happened when the ball was snapped. You mean to tell me you're gonna blame? Yeah, he was coming out his stand, and the ball got snapped, and as soon as he was coming out, it popped.
Yes.
You telling me that you blaming that on the turf?
That's the terrible turf. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I had the list. Let me see, because I had the list of everybody that it happened to. Hopefully I didn't. Damn, I had it in here and I got rid of it. Damn, I think I may have erased it again. Man, but I had a list of, I don't have it. I had a list of everybody that this happened to. Yeah, but he just planted his foot and it just went down. Like he just buckled. That's that turf. That's that terrible turf. And I wouldn't say it was a turf if it didn't happen to Aaron Rodgers. If it didn't happen, that list had about 15 other guys on it. And those were just notable names within the past like 2 years too. It ain't like it was, over a 10-year period. This was just like the past 2 years. So I absolutely blame that turf.
Okay, like I said, we're gonna have to have a deeper discussion on this. Again, I'm not gonna make light of the situation because he got injured, right? All I will say is when it comes to grass versus turf, in the terms of planning, making a football move, a transitional move, whatever it may be, I guarantee you the consensus, even though you hear reports of players saying they don't like turf, let's hit them on grass and let's see where it comes in terms of impact on grass. Now, you can, like I said, you can make the argument for footing all day, but when it comes to impact, meaning on the ground action, I'm guaranteeing you the consensus is going to be turf. The reason why is because of the give.
Yeah, it has more give to it.
Right. So where are we making the distinction? Do you want more plantar injuries or do you want more impact injuries? So you got to pick your points.
So I'm gonna say this because it's affecting one of our best pass rushers. These guys are built to take that impact. They're not built to be blowing out Achilles and all that type of crap. So just give me the harder impact. I mean, you get knocked down on the ground. That's what you signed up for. You're not signing up for your foot getting caught in the damn turf and everything, and you going down. Tyreek Hill went down twice in that game last week, to without being touched, just down twice. I'm telling you, it's that turf. And it ain't just me saying it, like it's everybody saying about that turf.
So more rib and sternum injuries and less lower body injuries is what you're saying.
Hey,
because if you notice the rib injuries, the sternum injuries, way down since there's been more of an adoption of turf.
I don't know.
You don't even really see sternum injuries anymore.
Hey, do like Tua and take a jiu-jitsu class over the off season and learn how to fall. That's all I can say.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for today's show. But if y'all want to catch MD, y'all can catch him every Tuesday on Tape Fist Politics, along with Van Cat, Ricardo, and Mike. And again, that offer is still out there. Anybody who could find me a better political show than what they do, please send it to me. I'd love to see that because there isn't one. I'm gonna tell you just now that there isn't one. You also find MD on every Wednesday at 5:45 under on Wrestling with Reality. And this week on Wrestling with Reality, we got a fantastic show. I already set it up. We're gonna put Mr. CM Punk on trial since everybody is well, not everybody, because I think me, Mike, and MD all kind of agree on what he, his impact. But Venkat and Ricardo got different feelings, so we're gonna put him on trial this week. We're gonna show his infractions, I guess, his violations against the industry, and you gonna tell me who was at fault. So this is gonna be a very interesting show. This Wrestling with Reality. It's entitled CM Punk, Victim or Punk. That's the name of this Wednesday show. So y'all tune into that. It should be a great one. I am asking Venkat to bring the timer out though, so just so we don't get into another 4.5 hour show. So with all that being said, all right, MD, I appreciate you coming up, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close this show out.
No doubt, no doubt. Peace, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace. All right, man. Big shout out to MD for coming up. Hey, man, y'all let me know how the camera look too, man. I'm doing a free trial on the 1080p camera. I want to see what that looks like before I invest in getting it. But either way, big shout out to MD for coming up here, man. Talking football, good old football, Georgia Bulldogs football, Florida State Seminole football, Atlanta Falcons, and the good guys, the Miami Dolphins, again with their 45-15 victory over the Washington Commanders. What I forgot to say that I loved so much what Tua was doing today is when the way he evaded the pass rush by simply just stepping up, literally buying himself more time, stepping up into the pocket and making great throws. Because whenever it comes to certain situations, I stand there. I always tell you, watching football with me is the craziest thing. I stand up in front of my TV and I look like he could hear me. And I'm like, Tua, see it before you do it. Because Tua is good for one BS pass every game. And he didn't do it this game, which is great. So again, we have the Titans this coming week. And that is a Monday Night Football game. So there will be no Dolphins deep dive next week because it's a Monday night game and just can't do it. So please be sure to tune in tomorrow night to the flagship show of the Straight Talk Society, Man Talk Monday. We will be finally getting into this taboo topic in our community. How old is too old? They're going to be talking about the age gap in dating. So for example, 50-year-old men going after 20-year-old women, vice versa, things like that. So that will be tomorrow night's show on Man Talk Monday. We do have Tafist Politics coming up, Wrestling with Reality. There will be a debate this Thursday. So over here on the Straight Talk Society, the train just keeps on going, but my time is running down and it is time for me to get out of here and go catch this 49ers versus Eagles game. Hopefully the Dolphins will be seeing one of those two teams in February. Only one way to do that. Take care of our side of the bracket. That's all. So appreciate everybody for coming by. Please make sure and hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Until next time, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Peace.